today I'm going to be making the biggest, the juiciest karaage style fried chicken.
Isn't that just regular fried chicken at that point?
I mean, yes, but also no. We're still doing it with the same marinades in the karaage style.
Yeah, but that's just marinated fried chicken rather than anything else.
It's all fried chicken in the end, isn't it?
It really is all just fried chicken in the end. And for this fried chicken, I am using some really nice chicken thighs. You can also use chicken breast, which is what they had used in this Japan by Food video, which was definitely the inspiration for making this style of karaage. All I'm doing is trimming off any excess fat from my chicken thigh. You can feel free to leave this, but I feel like with such a big piece of chicken, trimming it just a little bit is going to make it so much better in the end.
The other thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take this up a notch.
I got very bad Emeril Lagasse vibes, and next thing you know, I'm gonna be an idiot sandwich. Now make sure you do pound out your chicken thighs super thin. You're looking for like a ½ inch worth of thickness on here.
See that? See how nice and thin that is? We're not gonna do it yet, because we still have to marinate it, but we're gonna be doing one of these, yeah? I'm gonna roll this thing up. Could you imagine this whole thing deep fried? It'd be so good.
We don't have to imagine, we're going to experience it. Make sure you do the same thing with as many chicken thighs as you're using.
This episode is dedicated to Cass. Thank you for being a premium member over on Discord. You get the chef's kiss.
Now, once you have all of your chicken thighs pounded out, place them into a very large Ziploc bag, or you can place them into some kind of a container that you can throw a lid onto. Now, for the marinade, I am going to be using about 200 milliliters worth of mirin and about 200 milliliters worth of soy sauce.
As far as adding sake goes, I know a lot of you guys can't have it and you've always been asking about it. Feel free to always leave it out. It's not really that necessary. I just like the flavor that it gives. And also, for good measure, this is not normally in this marinade. I'm using some suyu because I've been on a suyu kick. Feel free to use it.
Suyu has been my lifesaver recently, so we're gonna add a splash of that too. And finally, for some sweetness, an orange.
Oh, that's a nice orange. Wow, gonna make a little sacrifice here, you know?
So I guess we're not using the whole orange at this point because you're just eating all the orange. Is it that good? Is it? Stop eating the orange, dude. So we're using half an orange? Okay.
Wow, that's so good. Let's do a video on this orange.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it because now the entire recipe is thrown off. Not really, just add a squeeze of orange juice. You can also use lemon here if you really want, if you don't have orange, but I like the sweetness from the orange. If you're using something like lemon in your marinade, make sure you add just a touch of sugar as well. Pour all of this through a nice strainer just to pick out any seeds or any other flesh that came with the orange. And now make sure that the chicken is fully covered, trying to make all that air come out of that bag before you zip it and seal it up.
We're gonna marinate this for about 2 to 3 hours. You can go 4 hours, you can go overnight if you don't make it as salty. I'm going for about 2 to 3 hours, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go buy oil because I totally forgot to buy some today. So that's what we're gonna do while this is marinating.
I feel like we come unprepared way too often for this stuff. Now, as far as your dry ingredients go, we're gonna be using about 1 cup worth of all-purpose flour and about the same amount worth of cornstarch. You can also use potato starch if you don't have cornstarch, but just make sure you use either one. Hit this with a pinch of salt, and then I'm also adding a ton of togarashi just because I like the spice here. You don't have to add togarashi, but I like the way it tastes when everything is nicely fried up. Once you have all of your dry ingredients in your bowl, give this a nice whisk with whatever apparatus you're deciding to using, and I think I'm using skewers here. And now it is time for the chicken.
Now at this stage, you can just cut this up, then dredge it, and then fry it, but you know what we have to do.
Now, because I wanted this to be really nice and extra, we're going to roll up this chicken so it almost looks like a chicken roulade. After you get this nice and rolled up, we do have to insert a bunch of skewers into it just so it doesn't come undone when we go to deep fry this later.
This is really big. I'm hoping it holds together. I've never tried this before.
Don't worry, this is gonna be fine. Just make sure you yeet your sticks across the room after you cut them, just to make sure they're easier to work with. Then take your chicken and place it into your flour mixture, making sure it is fully covered. If you have any exposed pieces of chicken, then it may just burn in the oil, so make sure that you do take your time here and make sure it's fully covered in that flour.
We can get one more. We can do one more. I was planning on only doing that one, but I feel like we're gonna have to have 2 just in case one of them kind of opens up. You know, things happen.
Things happen way too often in this kitchen, so we're just planning for it. Now roll up your second chicken thigh, make sure you do give it a nice stab, and then a cut. Get your oil to a nice 300 degrees Fahrenheit. This is just going to be for the first fry. Gently lay down that chicken into that hot oil. Don't drop it in there, you don't want it to splash all over the place. Isn't that just sound so lovely? We're going to fry this chicken just until it's lightly golden brown. Once you have it browned on each side, this is when we're going to pull it out of the fryer and then kick it up.
And remember, this is just the first fry because that's so thick.
Place those 2 pieces of chicken on a cooling rack just so any excess oil can drip down below.
Look at that beautiful chicken. Come on, that looks scrumptious already. Now we're gonna crank this up, bring this up to 350, then we double fry.
I decided to dredge one of the pieces of chicken in more flour just so this way we can see if there's a difference in texture, but feel free to skip this part.
We're just experimenting, you know? It's fine.
Now the second fry isn't going to take very long at all. I only fried these for about 2 minutes, making sure that they were fully covered, and after those 2 minutes of fully cooking, our chicken is ready to be pulled out and ready to cut and serve. Don't lose it, we need this.
Is there a sound? maybe a little bit. Look at this chicken. I am so excited to jump into this. It is a little greasy because it's so big. I think I'm gonna dab it with some paper towels. I'm gonna be that guy. It did hold together, and that's what I'm really happy about. Let's see what the inside looks like. This is the real test. Oh, that looks beautiful. Look at that spiral. Come on, camera, look at that. Go over here again, fix this camera. Look at how juicy that looks. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, my mouth is salivating. We can't just have it like this. We gotta do a little plate up.
Now, you obviously don't have to have a full plate up, but since I was having this for dinner, I decided to microwave some white rice, pair it up with a few slices of lemons, some fresh cabbage, a lot of kimchi because I love it with this. Place those 2 pieces of chicken however you deem necessary on that plate. Yes, I am eating both of these giant pieces of chicken because I feel like Chris Broad right now, like going all in on Family Mart fried chicken. And there it is, my giant karaage from someplace in Japan. They probably make it somewhere out there.
If this isn't a delicious looking meal, I honestly don't know what is at this point. Fried chicken, the steamed white rice, the cabbage, the kimchi, a little bit of lemon. We just need a squeeze of QP and we're on our way. And guys, if you haven't seen Japan Buy Food, highly recommend checking out their channel. It's phenomenal. I've been binging it. I think it's super fun. It led me to looking at stuff like this. I'm not even gonna use the chopsticks here. I'm gonna dive into a one without the double flour first. Oh, cheers. Just send it. My God. It's so juicy and so tender. It's cooked perfectly in the center. It's not overcooked. It is a little greasy because of how big it is, but it's not overwhelming. It's better to me than normal karaage, but I wish it were crispier. Let's try the one that got double flour. I don't even know what to say. I don't think the double flour is necessary. Double frying is. This is phenomenal. Honestly, if you guys don't even make this giant method, use the marinade. I think it's phenomenal. It's sweet, salty, a little bit of spicy from the togarashi in the spices and the dry mix. This is phenomenal. You should totally make this. Check out Japan Buy Food. My name is Chef PK, and remember, keep playing with your food. I'm out.